Okay, so we're going to do math today, because math is fun. Woohoo! Hello and welcome! This is one of my favorite quilting books. I love paging through it for inspiration, and there is endless inspiration of the things you can make. The block I've chosen to make is block 315, Shooting Star 2. The first step in planning a project for me is getting out an old-fashioned notebook and pen. Here's a quick look at the layout for my last two projects, a star quilt and a bag to tote my djembe around. The first thing I like to do is draw a rough sketch of the block I'm making. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a reference for what I'll be sewing. The next step is to decide how big I want to make these blocks. My batting is 60 inches wide and I'm aiming for a twin-size quilt. I could make the blocks 6, 8, 9, 10, or even 12 inches. If I did 12-inch blocks, I would lay it out at 4 blocks by 6 blocks, which would give me room for a border. But I prefer more blocks, and I don't want them too small either, so I'm going to make them one size smaller at 10. If the quilt is 5 blocks by 7 blocks, that'll give me 50 inches by 70 inches, and I'll have a little wiggle room to add some borders. Let's take a look at the bits we need to make this project. Each of these sections will finish to 2.5 inches. I need to add a 1/2 inch for the seam allowance, so I'll need 3-inch squares. I'll also need 3 inches by 5.5 inches for the star point unit, which also makes a pinwheel in the center. For one block, I'll need 4 of these. I need 4 3-inch squares in both the white and colorful fabric, and I'll need 4 3 by 5.5 for the star point unit. Multiplying each of these by 35 gives me 140. And for the star unit, I'll need 140 of the colorful strip and 280 white squares, as each section has 2 points. When cutting strips and squares, I like to start with a white fabric first, then move on to the more fun colors and patterns next. There is more than one correct way to approach a quilt like this. For your quilt, you could use half-square triangles instead and make your blocks a different size. The important thing is that you make it yours. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please excuse my messy handwriting, and please be on the lookout for my next video where I'll be cutting all the bits and pieces to make this quilt. Until then, thank you and goodbye.